so tired after shooting this video for Taglit-Birthright so that my parents could go to Israel. I just hope that they see how much my parents deserve it after all that they've done for me. I hope that they let my parents go. Mom? Dad? Why are you dressed in those hideous outfits?
My name is Ethel, and this is my spouse, Ruvain.
Shalom.
No, you're Eileen, and you're Richard Altneu, and you're my parents. Have you been eating too much horseradish with your gefilte fish?
We're looking for the Promised Land. Could you help us find it?
Okay, I guess I'll play along with this. Why don't you just come inside and tell me why you want to go to Israel so badly?
We've been traveling all day long.
The last thing I remember is we were coming out of Egypt with Moses, and now we were at the base of Mount Sinai. Then we see a bolt of lightning, a flash, a great flash, and I don't know where we are. What train do we take?
God, listen to us. We want to get back to Israel.
Oy vey, where's Israel? We want to look out over the seas of the Mediterranean, become immersed in the mysticism of Sfat, and visit the holy synagogues.
I know exactly what you mean. My brother and I were able to go on a trip called Taglit-Birthright to Israel. My parents were never able to afford to go to Israel by themselves. I want them to experience all of those things that you've mentioned, as well as riding to the top of Golan Heights to see where we fought the Syrians for our homeland, and riding camels through the Bedouin camps that lie in the deserts that have the most beautiful sunsets overlooking the historic Masada. While they're there, I want them to paint themselves with mud in the Dead Sea and pray in Jerusalem where they can face the Western Wall and slip a note for health and happiness into its cracks, while remembering those who were not as fortunate to have lived through the Holocaust at Yad Vashem. They need to experience the hustle and bustle of Ben Yehuda street sales, where I know they would use their New York haggling to get the prices they want from the vendors, and then make their final destination to Tel Aviv, the most important city, and the exact reason why my parents should be able to go to Israel. It turns out that Meir Dizengoff, the first mayor that transformed Tel Aviv into the city that we now know, is my mother's great-great-great-uncle. So this really has always been their dream, especially to see Tel Aviv in Dizengoff Square.
So they are Israeli royalty?
Well, I guess you can say that. When my mother and father were both younger, both of their fathers passed away, and my grandmothers raised them in hopes that one day they would see their ancestors' Holy Land. When they graduated from college, they saved up enough money, but they needed it to make their own wedding. They need to know where they came from and how their family has helped contribute to the foundation of these 60 years that Israel has been its own state. I know that my parents will be transformed by having a stronger connection to their religion and familiar lineage. I hope that they can become more involved in the Biblical Museum that resides in Dizengoff's house, which is now known as Independence Hall in Tel Aviv. This would mean so much to them, and our family's birthright to go to Israel will finally be complete.
We can tell how much you love your Ima and Abba.
I do. Now let me drive you to the airport and get you on a plane back to Israel.
Wake up, Samantha, wake up!
We got fantastic news!
Oh my God, that was such a weird dream. What's wrong?
Guess what? We just got a letter from Taglit-Birthright